All right, I'm turning $10,000 into $20,000 just by betting on UFC and following my 5 simple rules. We're actually we're actually kicking off this bankroll challenge this weekend at UFC 295. Mr. Tom Aspinall will take on Sergei Pavlovich for the vacant interim heavyweight championship live from Madison Square Garden, New York this weekend. In case you missed it, I did live stream the full tape study. We watched Tom Aspinall and his rise to the UFC and how he got here, and then we taped the Sergei Pavlovich side. We watched all his tape, even some of the regional stuff, and how he got to this point as well. So we got a full breakdown. In case you missed it, here it is here. So let's go into the fight. The breakdown. Sergey, he will come out orthodox. Most likely, Tom Aspinall will come out orthodox. We've seen Sergey not be able to really check leg kicks, eat a lot of leg kicks. So I think if Aspinall goes to a leg kick heavy game, he should be okay. That's an advantage there. Sergey really, when he's standing in range, he's throwing these jabs, he's throwing these lead rear uppercuts, he's throwing the 1-2 over the top. The difference is that Aspinall doesn't stand in one position. If Sergey comes forward, Aspinall is going to back up. So the 1-4 is not going to be there. The rear uppercut's not going to be there. He's really only going to have the jab. So Aspinall should be more technical. He should be able to manage distance more. He's very light on his feet, popping in and out. He should be able to pop those outside low kicks, get to the legs of Sergey. Aspinall looks to be the faster fighter. It's just he commits on these 1-2, and then when he comes into range on the 1-2, this is when I assume Pavlovich is going to blitz and throw these left rights. I think Aspinall is a lot straighter as well. So, Pavlovich likes the overhands, the looping right hands, the left hooks. So Aspinall is going to be straighter. Pavlovich will have the reach advantage, so maybe the reach gets there anyway. But just I like the footwork from Aspinall. I think, again, Aspinall is going to be faster. I think Pavlovich will have the power advantage, but he's going to be a little bit slower. So if it stays standing, Aspinall should be able to stand on the outside. You're really only fading around one finish from Pavlovich by a right hand. I think that's the most likely path to victory for Sergey, is to land the right hand, either setting up from an uppercut or setting it up from a hook. If Aspinall has his way, he's circling on the outside, land on his feet, popping the leg kick, popping the 1-2 out of range, things like that. If it gets a little bit dicey on the feet, I think Aspinall has the takedowns in his back pocket. I think if he can duck under, get Sergey to sort of commit on the strikes. Again, he's loading up on these right hands. Those are the perfect timing for Aspinall to duck under. We saw that great timing from Aspinall in the Arlovsky fight, where he slipped the right hand, grabbed the double leg and on the ground. And again, once it hits the ground, I think it's all Aspinall. I don't think Pavlovich has much get-ups. Again, this is strictly assumptions, not much to go off on the tape. I do know that Pavlovich did train some wrestling early in his life. I don't want to say career, because he was just a kid when he trained it. Some Russian sambo as well. But I just think Aspinall's levels above him. If the fight does hit the ground, Pavlovich's been somewhat fortunate in the strength of schedule and not fighting high-level grapplers, wrestlers. Blades, again, not shooting for a takedown. So based on the tape, I think Aspinall just has way more paths to winning. Again, grab the knockdown, could get the ground and pound, could find a submission, could take him into deeper waters. I just assuming that Aspinall has the better cardio, nothing to really base it on, but just based on the movement that we've seen, just like Aspinall being lighter, a little bit more comfortable, sticking and moving, whereas Pavlovich more like tense, a lot of big shots loading up on those strikes. So I think if it does go later on, it favors Aspinall. Again, just a hunch. But both of these guys average fight time of 2 minutes. The fight not to go to decision in a 5-round fight is probably astronomical. So That's that. So I think Aspinall's the side. What I do is I usually go over to my handy dandy notebook here. I try to go through the numbers and get you my best path to victory, maybe best bets, best props here. So let's go through the numbers. I'm going to start on the Pavlovich side because I think it's a little bit easier to put together. Sergey to win by TKO. I'm going to say let's go 30% to start. 1 in 3 fights. If they fought 3 times, would you win by TKO 1 time? Probably about right, maybe 25%, but we'll leave it at 30% for now. Submission, Sergey by submission. I don't see it. We saw when he did get the guys rocked, he never went for control, never went for any kind of submission. So we're going to put a 0 there for now. 5-round fight for Sergey to win by decision. I just don't think he's technical enough to do it. I think for him to win a decision, it will have to be multiple knockdowns. And if he does get multiple knockdowns, I think he'll find the finish. It's going to be very difficult, I think, for Sergey to win a decision, right? So I'm going to put 5% just because we don't know. We haven't seen them go. It's possible, I guess, that both of these guys gas in the first round. Somehow there's grappling exchanges. He defends, and they both fall out of a cliff, and then both guys lose their power. We saw Sergey take some big shots and eat them. We saw Aspinall take some big shots and eat them. So it's possible that both guys have a chin and it goes to decision. I just don't think it does. So moving on to the Aspinall side, TKO, win by TKO. I think it can come from standing. I think his 1-2 is very quick. I think he has a lot of knees in the clinch. He has a nice elbow in the clinch. Different ways. He has a lot of different strikes. So if Pavlovich is 30%, I'm going to say maybe 25% for now. Win by submission. I think if he does get it to the ground, I'm assuming that he's going to find the submission. We saw him easily, instantly tap out Arlovsky. We saw the straight arm lock against Volkov. Not a lot of people do that to Volkov. So I'm going to rate the submission maybe about 30% for now. And then winning by decision. I think Aspinall could win a decision if he wanted to. I think he could stick and move on the outside. I think he could pop the leg kicks. I think the leg kicks could add up. So he probably, I should add that to the TKO. So it's possible that Aspinall pops these outside low kicks and that those low kicks really add up. Pavlovich in the later rounds, 2, 3, 4 is not able to move a lot. And then Aspinall should be able to find the finish there. But again, if he sticks and moves, he has the ability to do that. He has the ability to stay on the outside. He's a little bit faster. He could win a decision. I'm going to say it's probably around 15% just in a 5-round fight against both guys that tend to not go that far. So total, we're at 70% for Aspinall, 35 for Sergey, so we're 5% off. Let's bring the sub down, maybe. I got to take away 5%, so leave it. Okay, so let's go sub, move it down from 3% to 25%. I think they're fairly accurate, these numbers here. I don't think, again, Sergey's most of his win equity has to be tied within the TKO, and it's probably round 1 TKO. Some maybe round 2 TKO. Maybe he spends round 1 on his back, survives, and gets stood up, and then round 2 he finds the early KO finish. But again, the most of his win equity is tied to the KO. 0 by sub, 5% by decision. So that's a total of 35% I give to Pavlovich in terms of winning. That's a plus 186 line. On the Tom Aspinall side, I give him 65%. I cap him around 186 based on these numbers. So I know currently he opened somewhat of a pick 'em. A couple of books had him as a dog early. I think I would have tried to scoop up any kind of dog money early. I think Aspinall's the side at 65%. Okay, so we're on the Tom Aspinall side. So now if we go back and watch our 5 simple rules to be a successful sports bettor, rule number 1 was proper bankroll management. We need to set aside an amount that we will use as our bankroll. Again, we're calling it $10,000. We have that spread across 3 different books, BetOnline, DraftKings, and FanDuel. So I will be quoting lines available on those 3 books. If we follow rule number 2, it was to shop around. So if we look here on fightodds.io, we look at the Sergei Pavlovich, Tom Aspinall here. Looking at BetOnline, we have minus 110 is the best line available. If we go over to DraftKings here, they have minus 115. And FanDuel actually has minus 120. So 10 cents difference there between minus 110 and minus 120. Again, the benefit of shopping around is that you guarantee yourself the best price available. Those 5-10 cents, those 5-10% will add up in the long run. So we don't want to get rid of that. So we are going to go to Bet Online here. Go over to our capping odds worksheet. This is what we showed in the breakdown here. We had Tom Aspinall to win by TKO 25%. That equals about plus 300 or better. Tom Aspinall to win by sub is about 25% as well. And to win by decision, we said it was about 15%. 5-round fight. You never know. On the Pavlovich side, we had 30% to win by TKO, so that's plus 233 or better. We don't think that Sergei Pavlovich is going to win a submission, so I put a big 0 there. And then Sergei Pavlovich to win a decision. Again, I don't think it happens, but we did put 5% because you never know. So in total, that gives us 65% on the Tom Aspinall side. Sergei Pavlovich coming back on 35%. So keep that in mind, 65% on the money line. So how the Kelly Criterion calculator works is that it's a formula based, it's a mathematical formula that will optimize the betting amounts that we should be betting. We don't need to go into the math and the complications and the proof of how it works, but we do need to understand that we cap the fight at around 65%. Okay, and we know that the current odds right now at Bet Online were about minus 110. So I've entered them into here, minus 110 into the American odds. Converted to decimal, that's 1.91. We said our capped percentage of winning, or we believe based on our skills and our breakdowns, that Tom Aspinall is about 65% to win. So I've put that in. If Tom Aspinall is 65% to win, that means that Sergei is 35% to win as well, or Tom Aspinall is 35% to lose. You plug those into the calculator here. It does its fancy math. A fully Kelly Criterion will tell you to bet 27% of your bankroll on that amount there. A little bit too aggressive for me, so that's why, again, we take a look at 4th Kelly or 8th Kelly, which is just taking that number, dividing it by 4 or dividing by 8. Because we are just starting this bankroll challenge, we're going to go with 8th Kelly, so it's spitting out about 3% of our bankroll, or 3 units on this bet. Okay, so if I go over to my betting log here, we're saying that we're placing the bet today. The date of the event is November 11th, so this weekend. We're taking Tom Aspinall to win against Sergei Pavlovich. Again, we're taking it at Bet Online at minus 110. We are capping the fight at around 65%. So this tracker also calculates the Kelly Criterion for you. At 4th Kelly, it's 6.6, and at 8th Kelly, it's 3.3. So that's basically telling us 3.3 units here. With our bankroll at $10,000, our full 3.3 bet will be $330. So we're going to go over to Bet Online. We're going to place a bet. Tom Aspinall to win on the money line. We are risking $330. I believe it's to win $300. So we'll put that in. Best of luck this weekend to anybody following. Hopefully Tom Aspinall wins the interim UFC heavyweight championship. Okay, guys, well, that is it for today. Thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed the show, make sure you smash the like button, hit the subscribe. You'll get notified anytime we put out new content. Again, my name is Art C. You can follow me on Twitter at Mr. Electrocute. This is Fighting Stats, the ultimate source for exclusive and in-depth MMA statistics and best bets. We'll see you guys at the window.